On this episode of Simply, nothing says summer like the Newport Kite Festival. Then we'll introduce you to the animal ambassadors at the Roger Williams Park Zoo. We'll meet an artist who creates handcrafted items inspired by nature. Then we'll visit a small and adorable fiber farm in Matunuck. All before Chef Nick whips up a refreshing summer dish. Simply New England is presented by Cranston's Wines and More. And Star. Work where you love. Hey folks, I'm your host Becky Gibble, and this is Simply New England. Your eyes aren't playing tricks on you. That is indeed Seattle's world-famous Space Needle behind me. I'm here in the Emerald City for the month doing a new play, so we thought it'd be fun to bring you Simply New England, coast to coast. We'll be sharing the best New England has to offer in August, as well as some highlights from the Emerald City. Stick around. It's gonna be a great show. Hey folks, welcome back. Nothing fills me with the joy of summer like a vast expanse of green and a cool breeze, which is why I'm so excited that after a brief hiatus, the Newport Kite Festival is flying high again. Next up, we head to Brenton Point State Park to check it out.
There's an old Chinese proverb that says to fly a kite is to hold the wind in your hands. And that's a great thing for me, is when I can just sit with the simplest of kites in a chair, relaxed, flying the string with, not in the handle, but with my bare hands so I can feel. Every time the kite and the wind are trying to talk to me, I get to listen. And that's, to me, is amazing right there. One of the things about Rhode Island and Rhode Islanders, it's a small state, and all you have to do is say, I fly kites, and they go, oh, have you been to Newport? And it's just like the place to fly.
Brenton Point State Park, what makes this so good is because you have like three sides of which way the wind can come. Not a lot of places can do that. Maybe you get one or two, and you're over by the water, so when that sun heats up that water, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, on it, like that, you can almost set your watch, you're gonna get some breeze coming.
The reason we tend to gravitate here is when the wind comes off the water, it's clean. There's no bumps, holes. It's like it's coming from a fan. It's just the cleanest thing. You know exactly, everything's predictable. You know the kite, you can park a kite and it'll just stay there. So that's why we tend to come here. When we get the ocean breeze, there's no place better.
Today is getting back online a kite festival that's been around for many, many, many years.
We think it goes back to 1985. Japan America Society brought Japanese kite masters over to fly kites here, and that was the beginning of this celebration.
You can come anytime to Brenton Point to fly. Matter of fact, you got Ron Kitt, who's the one that's the organizer to put this together. He has a trailer here that sells kites all year round. Not a lot of places can do that.
The whale kites are made by Peter Lynn in New Zealand. They fly on 2,000-pound string. Where does that kite go? Anywhere it wants to.
The one that's on the ground right there, that white one, is mine. That's a 40-foot sperm whale, which is about the average size of a real sperm whale.
Why do people keep flying kites? I don't know anything more equitable to begin with. I mean, there's something here for every ability, every pocketbook. There's a gentleman flying while we're doing this, and he's sitting in a chair, flying a 4-string kite, having a grand old time. So it doesn't require running. It definitely does not require running. I tell people, the kite is talking to you, listen to it. You know, it's telling you if it wants string. It's telling you when it wants you to pull it in. You've got to listen to what your kite is saying.
We had a lot of welcoming, and thank God you're back, and it was a really, really good day.
Whenever I'm working in a new city, it helps me feel less homesick if I can make a few friends, be it two-legged, four-legged, or feathered. So I'm here in Volunteer Park in Seattle making a connection with these ducks. We make a connection of our own through the Animal Ambassadors program at Roger Williams Park Zoo. Check it out. Hey, what are you guys up to later? You wanna maybe grab some dinner or something? No, it's cool, no pressure. Out and About is brought to you by Harbor One. Find your harbor at harborone.com.
My name is Becca. I'm one of the keepers here at Roger Williams Park Zoo, and we are in our Ambassador Animal Holding Area. The mission of our Ambassador program is to connect our audiences with nature and empower them to make informed choices just for the future of our planet, for our animals, for our diversity. We have an Ambassador Animal program which consists of about 60 animals right now. They all live down here. And these are the animals that go out into schools. They do our programs. You might meet them on the sidewalk when it's, nice weather, or in our adaptations building. And my role is to take care of all of them. So we have a lot of animals here. We have a lot of species from different continents. We have rainforest. You can hear the macaws maybe in the background. We have reptiles. We have some cool invertebrates, cockroaches and tarantulas. We also have bunny rabbits, birds, some native wildlife. We have opossums. Oh, it's a very busy day. Yeah, so it starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. We come down, we get eyes on everyone. That's a lot of little faces to make sure are okay and say good morning to. We'll prepare all of our diets for the day, pass out any medications and breakfast. Then the cleaning begins because it's job security. As long as they're eating, they're making messes too. We try to give all the animals enrichment. We want to make sure their enclosures are new and exciting, so we'll change out toys. We'll give new perching when we need to give new perching. We want to get them out and give them some free time, sometimes literally let them stretch their wings. And then we work alongside our education team and our instructors, who are the ones who take our animals to these school programs. They take them to the sidewalk. They're the people you meet when you're meeting these animals. You might see my friend Pickles behind me. He's out on what we call free roam. So during the day, he's allowed to just walk around and do whatever he wants out there. He is a radiated tortoise. He was born here at Roger Williams Park Zoo. He loves salad. He gets salad 3 times a week. The best part of the salad is always the fruit. I don't disagree. And funny enough, one of his favorite treats is peas.
Getting that face-to-face experience with an animal helps you make those connections that you typically don't get when you go to a zoo and you just see the animal in his exhibit. So you can kind of get to know the animal with the education team, and that kind of sparks something in your mind that says, oh, I want to learn more about this animal. Oh, this animal is facing deforestation. How can I help with that? And that kind of like builds this empathy that you have for that animal.
Stick around, folks. We'll be right back. Hey folks, welcome back. I've managed to meander over to Pocket Beach, a little hidden gem right in the center of Seattle on the water. Which reminds me, one of my favorite things about New England also thrives here in Seattle. I'm talking about nature's protein bar and natural water filter, the bivalve. Next up, we connect with an artist who is making some really innovative crafts out of oyster shells. Prepare to get your Christmas shopping done early. You're welcome. Let's meet up with Backyard Beach Decor.
Hi, I'm Wendy and I'm the owner and creator of Backyard Beach Decor. And we are in my backyard in front of my shell shed. Riley, come on, bud. The shell shed is where I create all of the products, my home decor and accessories that I make out of oyster shells that I collect that are local from Narragansett Bay and Buzzards Bay. 10 years ago, I was involved in a bad accident. I was run over by a car, almost died. But the healing process from that, I actually ended up spending a lot of time at the beach and just started collecting shells. And then I ended up taking care of my mother, and then she ended up passing away from dementia like 2 years after the accident. And she had a business called Backyard Vines. She used to make wreaths in the 80s. So that's where the circle comes from on my logo. That's a tribute to her. I started making pebble art, and then I kind of just morphed into, it was like trying to find what worked for me. And it took a couple of years. I ended up on the oyster shells, and it really just worked for me. It spoke to me. I've always liked oysters. I love the shells. I love the saying, no grit, no pearl, which comes from the sand getting into the oyster and the pearl developing. So that's the grit, the sand, and that's the hardship. And then the pearl is something beautiful that comes out of it. So that's how I looked at what I went through to what I've made out of that. And that's here I am now, and things are going really well. I have wholesale accounts, sales through the website, and then I also have custom orders, mostly for weddings, bridal showers, and baby showers. I feel like when somebody hand makes something, there's that, they're producing it, they're putting their energy and their love into it, so that's being transferred onto the person that purchased it. It makes me feel good that people really love what I do. I love that there's people out there still that want custom handmade things, so it makes me feel good.
Well, folks, I've managed to hoof it over to the Olympic Sculpture Park, a 9-acre expanse that's free to the public. On days like this, when I do a lot of walking, alpaca water. Speaking of alpacas, next up, we meet the hairy horde at the Matunuck Alpaca Farm. Pack your baby carrots. Visiting hours are free the first Sunday of every month.
My name is Carla Davis, and you're visiting Matunuck Alpaca in Wakefield, Rhode Island, and you're visiting my 14 alpacas. How did this come about? I visited an alpaca farm in Martha's Vineyard in 2015. It was kind of a see her, you can be her moment because it was owned by a woman. And I remember thinking, a woman owns this? A single woman. I had been taking care of family members for many years, and once the caregiving was over, it turned out I really missed it. I just really missed it. And this is a very different kind of a caregiving with no guilt whatsoever. Like when I leave, they're like, see ya. But it was just a moment of sort of realizing that I think I could do that. I just really think I could do that. I just took a leap is what I did. And I thought, I mean, you only risk what you can afford to lose, and that's what I risked. I risked what I could afford to lose, and it turned out I gained far more than I risked. That was how that happened for me. We have open farm day once a month on the first Sunday of every month from 10 to 1 p.m. I really enjoy having open farm days and having people come learn about the alpacas and seeing other people be sort of moved by them in the way that I'm moved by them. But in terms of the daily care of an alpaca, I live alone and I don't have any help here at all, and I manage it perfectly well. So I come out here 3 or 4 times a day. Every time I come out, I give my animals hay and water, and in the morning I give them a delicious bowl of breakfast cereal. A 3-hour-a-day commitment that I managed to find, because there's no question you have to every day, over and over and over again. There's nothing physically that one single old broad could not do on her own. The alpacas create a fiber that you can make amazing things out of. So once a year we shear our alpacas and we send our fiber to a mill where they make yarn. So sometimes mine just comes back as yarn. Sometimes I can take it another step and have that yarn made into a garment. I have a store on Main Street in Wakefield where I sell my goods from my farm supplemented by goods from Peru and Andes Mountains and Bolivia, where alpacas actually support your whole family, as opposed to being an indulgence the way mine are. Alpacas have brought a lot to my life in terms of the people that you meet along the way. And in terms of purpose, I think my relationship with the alpacas is mostly a decompressing relationship. So I have kind of a retail business. I'm sort of interacting with employees and the public most of the day. And at the end of the day, the fact that my alpacas do not want to chat at all is exactly what I'm looking for. So I would say that's sort of that's the basis of our relationship, is that we're quiet together. And I really enjoy giving them the care that they, no matter what the weather, whether it's freezing or boiling or pouring, I'm always really glad to be out here. It's just the place I'd like to be the most. If I had some coffee and chocolate, I could just be out here forever for the rest of my life.
Stick around, folks. We'll be right back. Hey folks, welcome back. Next up, Chef Nick treats us to a healthy, light summer salad with a great cocktail pairing from Wines and More. So I thought I'd treat myself to something equally healthy and light. Check it out.
Welcome, friends. We're having a beach day here on Keep On Cooking. And I love a good beach day, but I also love a little snack to go with it. So today, we're making the perfect recipe for just that, and that's my summer orzo salad. Orzo is a pasta which I lightly toasted and blanched it in some salted water, 7 to 10 minutes. Now we're gonna chop up some cherry tomatoes, all different sizes, all different shapes and colors. Tomatoes, especially in the summertime, there's so many varieties out there. They're all readily available, so why not use them? So now we're gonna take these halved tomatoes and just pop them right into the orzo. I've got some English cucumbers here, or seedless cucumbers, that ironically have a little bit of seed in them. So what I did was I skinned them and I scraped out the seeds and I sliced them up nice and fine. No summer salad's complete without a little fresh corn. Always use fresh corn, my friends, always. It's readily available all year long, but it is in season at this time of year. And just when you thought this couldn't get any more exciting, we have a little chickpeas. Fresh out of the can. Chickpea is one of those ingredients that you open and you use, and it is 100% good to go. So let's let all those ingredients sit, get to know each other while we whisk up a little vinaigrette. And when I'm making a vinaigrette, I always like to start with the acid first. So you're gonna squeeze a lemon, try to get it all out of there, and you're also gonna wanna make sure you either use your hand or a fine mesh strainer to capture those seeds. So we're gonna put in some white wine vinegar as well. I'm gonna add a little honey next. Honey is a great way to balance out a vinaigrette. No dressing is complete without oil. I'm gonna use olive oil today. Now we gotta put in some salt, pepper, salt, pepper, salt, pepper. Now let's whisk that together. So now, just pop that right into the salad. Let's mix this up. And you can see that glistening gleam. Now the one thing that this looks like it's missing to me is a little bit of color. We're gonna go in with some parsley, like a lot of parsley. Cooking in the summer, you gotta cook with fresh herbs. You need a lot of them too. A lot of basil and things, a lot of cilantro and things, a lot of parsley and things. Parsley is oftentimes thought about as just color, but it's so much more than that. It's almost acting as if it's like a leaf lettuce in this salad. Notice that there's no mayonnaise in here, no cheese, nothing that's gonna act up under the hot summer heat. This is light, this is fresh. If there's a box to check, this salad is checking it. Well, it's a tough gig, gang, but somebody's got to do it. Anyway, this came out great. I hope you make it at home. And until we meet again, you keep on cooking.
Hi, I'm TJ, Spirits Director for Wines & More, and here is today's cocktail recipe. Today we are going to make the pineapple margarita. We're going to start with 2 ounces of Peralta Blanco tequila. We're going to go with 3/4 of an ounce of Charles Reinier Triple Sec. We have a 1/2 ounce of agave nectar, 3/4 of an ounce of fresh lime juice, 1 full ounce of pineapple juice, and for this one, we decided to experiment a little bit and use a spicy bitters all into your ice-filled shaker. Pop the top on, shake, and you're going to strain it off into your ice-filled hurricane glass and sprinkle a little sea salt right on the top. And there you have the pineapple margarita. Thank you for joining us, and you can find all of the ingredients as well as our Cheers Direct line at all of our locations.
Well, folks, that's our show. I hope that your summer is turning out to be as sweet as ours is. We'll see you next time. Simply New England is presented by Cranston's Wines & More and Star. Work where you love.